Hi, everyone. How are you today? I hope you are well. Welcome to You Still Matter, a show about seniors and those who love them. I am so excited to have back with me on this particular day. She's no stranger to You Still Matter. Glenda Horton Manny, how are you?
Good morning. I am great. I am absolutely wonderful on this beautiful day, threatening some rain here in North Carolina. But
Yeah.
the weather's nice, not quite as cold as it has been, but cold enough to get ready for the season because this is the time of year where we expect to be all wrapped up with coats and gloves and things of that nature.
Right. And a lot of our family members or friends that are in the East and the
Yes,
Midwest and those areas, that's what they're doing. They're
yes, absolutely.
looking outside at snow and all that wonderful stuff, if that's what you like. But
Yes.
but yeah, so 'tis the season. I want to just kind of talk a little bit about um, during this time of the year, you have people that are just so joyous and they're just running around, they're shopping and excited and putting their menus together and expecting family or friends or whoever just excited. But what I also want to be considerate of is that this is not always a joyous time of year for all. I mean, some have lost family members, like
Yes.
yourself, of course, and some have lost employment, and it's been a lot of
Yes.
losses. And so just want to kind of talk about that just for a few minutes.
Yes.
And the first thing I'm thinking about is, if we're excited and happy and we call someone or we reach out to someone and they're not so much, it's so important that we extend grace, toward them
Yes.
and try to
I
encourage
agree.
them. So let's talk about that because I know you've recently, had a loss in your family. So let's kind of talk about it a little bit, okay?
Yes, certainly we have had a loss. We lost my brother, my oldest brother, but I always say younger than me. He was 75 and I am 80. And but he had lived a good life, and we were so excited about his homegoing, and that helped us as a family. We were able to come together and to celebrate the memory of his life. And he was of a different faith from mine. He belonged to the Church of God in Christ. So even their celebration was different, but it was wonderful, and it was an opportunity for us to be together and to remember. And when we think about seniors and the fact that you do matter, it's important to remember the times that we have spent together during even some of these occasions. But I will say, with him and his family celebrating a different faith, they were not always a part of what we would call this joyous Christmas Christ Mass that many of us are launching right now in our homes with the Christmas tree and the presents and the shopping and all of those kinds of things. As a family, we were not able to celebrate that because we had a different faith. And that is a common thread woven throughout our whole society that people do worship differently and we celebrate in different ways. And so being respectful and considerate of the fact that we are celebrating differently, but we're the same people, that we love each other and we respect each other. So giving them grace, as you said, and remembering and celebrating those things that we do celebrate together, that we do look at together and agree upon as ways of celebrating because as family members, we do celebrate differently. It's not all the same, but we love each other the very same. And we cherish the opportunities that we do have to be together. And so, even the celebration of my brother's life, we use that as a big celebration, actually, to kind of make up for all that we knew was coming and we would not be able to be together.
Mhm. Absolutely. And, um,
Yes,
and and talking about the holiday, of course, we know that we're also in the season of Hanukkah right now
yes,
as well. And so we know that there's so many different types of holidays and celebrations. And then, of
yes.
course, we know after Christmas, we will be in the season, we'll enter another season a celebration, which is Kwanzaa. So, um,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
so there are so many
Exactly. So
different. Yeah.
there's so many ways to
Mhm.
celebrate those things that we hold dear. And
Mhm.
I'll put it that way, those things that we hold dear. As a practicing Christian, this time of the year, for us, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
And that's at the center of our lives. And there are many of us who celebrate by special worship services. And that is what we're having at my church in our way of work. We celebrate with luncheons, we celebrate with parties, we celebrate with worship. We come together to remember the gift. And in our belief, we believe that the greatest gift ever given was the life of Jesus Christ. And
Mhm.
that is what we are celebrating at this time in many, many ways.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to also talk about, this is a time of the year where a lot of people they get so stressed out, right? And they're shopping, they're, putting their I guess, list together, if you will, of what they're going to have as far as their menu. Of course, just kind of running around and some being really frantic and stressed out, right?
Yes.
So, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, during this season, what is most important is not necessarily what gifts am I going to get? Because it's really not about us, right? And if you're not in a situation to actually purchase gifts for others. There's so many other things that you can do. You can make a special meal, a special card. I mean, there's just so many other ways that you can show love. So, and I know oftentimes with seniors, a lot of seniors they have specific incomes, right? And can
Yes.
certainly feel stressed out about, wow, I really don't have the means to really buy all the gifts that I want. And so to prevent them from being so stressed out about that, what would you suggest, Glenda?
Well, one of the things that we have looked at as a family, and our family has grown smaller, and we just talked about that, the loss of my brother, but we've had some other losses as well. So we're not the big group of people that we used to be. And as we our numbers have gotten smaller, we too have gotten older. And so we are less capable of doing many of the things that we have been doing. The state of the economy has affected all of us greatly. Even those of us who have had more find that that more has become less because of the economy, the many prices that have increased, and the things that we feel that we need to have. So, what we have begun to do as a family is to look closer at what we need, and that's personal items. So we've had conversations and talking about the things that we would like to have, and at this time, as I am growing older and my body is growing older, what I really need is a good lotion. I need a good lotion that can soak into my skin and soften it, because those things are changing tremendously. So in our conversations, we've talked about the things that we really need that can improve our lives on a daily basis. So that's one of the things that we've begun to do, just to look at things we need, not necessarily things that we want. Because most of us can agree in growing older, most of the things that we really need are things that we already have. Whereas clothes, furniture, whatnots, all of those things we have so much of because we've collected it over the years. So we begin to think of, I guess I got to tell you something really funny that's come to my mind. One of the things that I'm going to ask for Christmas is a good toothpaste whitener.
Mhm.
That's what I'm looking for. because with this age, I don't have those beautiful white pearly teeth. So a gift of a good toothpaste that's a whitener is going to be close to my heart. That's something that I'm thinking about. But I'm really thinking about it being important to share verbally with family members the things that you really need at this time. I think that will help to promote a happier season, and it will take off some of the pressure of purchasing things that maybe are more expensive, things that are outside of our budget, things that we really can live without.
Mhm, mhm. And so what I'm hearing really is, practicality here,
Yes,
things that are very practical to use. And that is so
right.
idea. That is
That's
so
right.
idea. And those are certainly things that you can certainly appreciate. And, some people listening may be thinking, lotion, toothpaste, and then
Yes.
think about it.
Uh-huh.
Well, those are things. Yeah, because it's like, well, those are things that, yeah, we need,
We
right?
need those things. Uh-huh. But as a gift, that would be welcome. But let me tell you about an experience that I had the other day. My granddaughter, who is on January 1 will turn 17 years old, loves the library. And after school, she often goes to the library to do homework with friends, and then later in the evening for dinner at home.
Mhm.
But now she was at the library and she says, I'm very busy coloring. And I said, you're coloring? She said, yes, I am coloring a picture, and this is a gift to my friend. She said her friend has a birthday coming up, and her gift to the friend was a picture that she had chosen in a coloring book, the picture that she wanted. And so she spent hours coloring this picture, which is a gift that she's giving to her friend. And so, talk about practicality, but at the same time, gifts that touch the heart, gifts that warm the heart, gifts that you have put in your time and your effort and your love. And that's what's coming with the gift that she's passing on to her friend.
Absolutely. That is so beautiful. Can you remember when your children were young and generally during this time of the year, when they were in their classes, the teachers would have them what? They would have them make cards and gifts for the parents, right? And those are just some of the things that are near and dear to your heart because you know that they took the time to actually to
Uh,
create and to color
Creative.
and those kinds of
Yes,
things. And those are
exactly.
really, really special.
They
And
are very special things.
yeah.
I had another experience. Usually, I got lots of cards when I lost my brother, but I had also gotten lots of cards for my birthday, lots of cards for other things. Well, and I have been holding on to them because they are so beautiful. And so, what I am doing is trying to figure out how can I actually keep them, but not be a hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you have to let go of. But these cards and the words are so beautiful. I am. And if there's somebody out there who thinks of some wonderful ways we can do that, let us know. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding on to these cards, rereading them, re-looking through them. Some of them came with lots of money. And so I was looking back to make sure I had gotten all the money out of the cards. But at the same time, I am cherishing the words. And if there are people that I see or talk with along the way, I'll tell them, I received your card. I read every word and I'm holding on to it now because the cards really send a tremendous message. Sometimes there are cards that we make ourselves, but at other times there are cards that we chose that were already designed by somebody else, but by some loving, creative person who wrote just the right words that we want to say at the right time.
Mhm. And I'm so glad you shared that because I'm real big on cards as well. And I have
Yeah.
saved a lot of them over the years. And I don't mind e-cards, right? But it's just something
Yes.
about those physical cards
Ah.
that you can look at and hold on to. And so, and I
Yes.
like sending those as well. And I,
Yes.
like you, I have so many that I have just kind of retained over the years and with that special message. And so,
Yes.
yeah, so I'm with you. If anyone out there knows or has any ideas of what you would do with these cards, how you can, I don't know, because I'm not as artistic as far as, art wise, because I would think of maybe taking them and maybe, I don't know, positioning them maybe on a board or a poster board or something. I don't know, but I'm with you, Glenda. If
Yes.
anybody has any ideas
I'm
for us,
open to,
yeah, please
yeah,
let us
you're
know.
exactly right. I'm open to ideas for doing that because Donna, you sent me a beautiful card. I need for you to know that I read every word
Mm,
and I felt what you felt when you chose it for me. I
mm,
felt the comfort you were trying to pass on to me, the encouragement. That's what cards mean,
yeah.
and that's what our in our choosing, whether we make the card or whether we buy the card.
Mhm,
They just are items that we can simply cherish, and they are not high on the list of expensive items.
mhm. Exactly, exactly. But yes, I do. I love cards. I absolutely do. And so, guys, if add it to our comments, or you can email us as you normally do. Some of you do at you still matter 55 at Gmail. And so, Glenda, I'm just so glad we've been able to have this conversation on today. We've certainly missed you. And of course, mentioning email or I do as I often do. Thank you for when you guys send us messages. I certainly appreciate it. And I do want to read a few. Here's one that says it's at Carol Johnson. Very valuable information. Thank you. There's one from at Zippity Doodah. Hi, Donna, sending much love. And then there were a couple of emails I received I want to share as well. Donna, thanks for taking time to encourage seniors. We need it. This comes from Darlene in Virginia. And here's one that says, I love the show because you always address great topics. Thank you and happy holidays. This comes from Jonathan in Maryland. And so we thank you so much when you all reach out and send us messages. We don't take it lightly. So appreciative, and we're hoping that you're continuing to share our show. And thank you to those who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And we certainly thank you for just taking the time to take a look at what we're sharing. Thank you so much for that, and give us a thumbs up as well, and again, subscribe. So again, Glenda, thank you so much for joining in on today, and everyone. No matter what holiday that you are celebrating, 'tis the season. I, pray that it is safe and
Yes.
it's comfortable, for you and to certainly enjoy it. Okay. And again, as always, no matter who you are, no matter what
Yes.
you may be going through, always remember that you still matter. All right, so we will see you soon. Take care. God bless. See you on the next video. All right, and bye for now.
Thank you. Bye, Donna. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yes,
Happy
Merry
Kwanzaa.
Christmas. Happy New Year. I know. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. All of
Yes.
those wonderful, wonderful holidays. And I
Okay.
love those hearts. Those are absolutely beautiful. Love it,
Love
love it,
you.
love it.
Uh-huh. Bye for now.
Okay, bye now.